Statements right now. We'll begin with Ed Taranchik. You have up to 2 minutes, please.
I really appreciate everyone being here. I have been at this for 23 years trying to build a better city. I have a vision that works. We saved 35,000 acres of environmental lands. When the arena came up, we said it needs to be downtown. 20 years ago, this June, we proposed a commuter regional rail system. We solved the water wars. We have been at the cutting edge of building a city. I had this vision about the Olympics that we all embraced because we're bigger than just here. Our strength lies in us coming together. My vision now also goes down to the grassroots level because I've seen we really have ignored the most important pieces of our neighborhoods for a long time. That's why I'm so keen on investing in housing, more specifically helping people to invest in housing, helping people to invest in energy efficiency, pushing with every bit of my heart and soul to finally get a transportation system that works for everyone and that is socially just. That's important. We have to be driven by vision that works, and we got to get on with the business of achieving that vision. For 25 years, I have been at this, and everyone in this room knows it. I've slaved away in a part of a city that no one invested in 50 years. Whole generations of city leaders left it abandoned. You cannot believe how bad West Tampa was when I went in there. It was horrid, and I can't believe it. I'm ashamed that no one did anything about it. I learned that how you move a city forward is by incenting people like me, small businesses, to come in and spend their money and change our future. That's the culture of a Taranchik administration, to make it easy for us to invest in ourselves. That's a vision that works for us, our children, and our grandchildren, and I hope I've earned your vote on March 1st. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ed Taranchik. City Councilman Thomas Scott.
Don't start it just yet. They're still clapping. Let me just thank everybody again also for being here. And this race is about selecting a leader who is willing to make bold and tough choices. Not only to make bold and tough choices, but to be a champion for this city. I have proven myself. I've proven to be dependable. I've proven to be fair. I've proven to be a principled leader. And therefore, as such, at both the county and the city, I've been selected 3 terms as chairman to lead them. I have a vision for the city of Tampa, which involves job creation, transportation, and challenging our budget, dealing with our budgetary challenge. Let me tell you what sets me apart from the rest of these candidates. My bold leadership, my ability to solve problems, my experience in serving this community. I want to deviate just a little bit because there's an issue keep coming up relative to my 2005 vote. I can't change that. I can't change that. That's past. But what I can do is what I did in 2009. That's to be fair, represent all of the citizens. As I said to the Gay and Lesbian Executive Committee last night, I will be fair. My office will be open. You can talk to me, and I'll be available for you, whether it's gay pride, whether it's using the park, because you have a right as citizens of this community. Tampa is a great place. Tampa is a great city. May have some issues, may have some flaws, but that's because we're human and we can change that. We can make this a better place for all of us. This is a great place, great city, and you're great people. God bless you and thank you.
Thank you, Thomas Scott. Former Mayor Dick Recca.
Thank you all for allowing us to be here tonight. And all of us get along very well. We're all very good friends. We've been friends a long time. And I would never criticize another person, and fortunately nobody's doing that. I'm the only person that's ever been mayor. It's very easy to articulate everything we need. Anybody knows that. I could bring somebody off the street and say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, and it sounds wonderful. I have done it. Each and every time that I took over, we had some immense problem. We talked about water a while ago. Who would have thought of putting in tertiary treatment back then when no one knew what it was, and on and on and on. The 145 cops we added to make the crime rate go down, there's no more there today than there was when I left. Same type of thing. Police had their cars taken away from them, on and on and on. These other people are endorsing me because they feel I can do the job. This time, a lot of things didn't happen. The other night, I had 90 people at my office in the IT business. The stuff they want to do, there's 52,000 of them in this area. Nobody knows that. We have to exploit that like they do in Silicon Valley and other places. There's a number of things that have to happen. We have to look at the budget. I've got some of the finest people in the world to look at that. People that are going to look at our pension fund and say, we want to merge departments when we get together. The water issue that I talked about earlier is tremendously important. We must face that. We're spending money now with Tampa Bay Water. We've done it twice. As that goes on, the water bill goes sky high. Nothing's going to happen, gang. I have been mayor. I've done it. This is not a time for on-the-job training. The only reason I'm back here tonight is I feel I can do a better job. I don't feel it. I know it. If you haven't been in that type of a position, I've been on city council. You do what the mayor sends down there, and on county commission, one of 7 people. The mayor makes decisions. Look at what has been done in Tampa. See who had a part in it, who did it, and compare that with anyone's record. If you were hiring somebody to run your business, you certainly look at a resume. I realize that Bob says don't look in the rearview mirror and all that kind of stuff. They put 3 of them on a car because it's important. You better look where you've been and where you're going. I love all of you. I want your vote because I want to give whatever I have left in my life to you and to the city that's given me everything I've got.
Thank you, former Mayor Dick Greco. Next up, former City Councilwoman and County Commissioner Rose Ferlita.
Thank you, Mitch. Thanks to everyone. Let me give you a very quick snapshot about Rose Ferlita and why I want you to want me to be your mayor. I grew up right down the street. We grew up very poor. We were very fortunate. We didn't know we were poor. I have given everything I have to this community in many different phases. Unlike some of my colleagues up here, or all of my colleagues up here, I started my service to this community as a community servant, as a community leader, as a civic association president, as a small business owner, as a neighborhood pharmacist. It was in fact the neighborhood that convinced me to run for city council in 1999. After that, I became your county commissioner. Ladies and gentlemen, the diversity that I grew up in Ybor City is like none other anyplace else. And so I smile when people say, oh, how are you going to treat the blacks, or how are you going to treat the gays? It is simply what my logo says, and it's not just for pretty. It's for all of Tampa, and I mean that. I will tell you that my business experience is very, very, very intense. I can do the job, or I wouldn't be up here asking you. Someone said one day, well, let's give you the real test. They said, if you make all the tough decisions and you're the bold leader that you say you are, you might risk this. Are you ready for it? If you do what you have to do to help the city of Tampa that you so much believe in, maybe you're going to be just a one-term mayor. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not up here for job security. I have job security in the pharmaceutical industry. I am simply here because I feel I have something to offer, and I want you to consider me when you do your resume, when you look at our resumes, and do your homework. I will tell you, it's a tough time. It's different than when I started in city council in 1999. Now more than ever, you need to look at the people that are asking you for the pleasure of serving you as your mayor. You need a mayor with experience to know, and I have that, both in small business and neighborhoods, and from there to South Tampa to Seminole Heights. I know what the needs are for the different areas of the city of Tampa. The courage to lead, we have heard different variations of that courage. I can lead. I'm not afraid to speak out and quickly. And lastly, and most important to me, and I hope to you, is the integrity to do the right thing. It will be my pleasure, along with all those other capacities in which I've served, to have the honor of being your mayor. I appreciate your time and your attention, and thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Rose Ferlita. And finally, former City Councilman Bob Buckhorn.
Mitch, thank you, and to Creative Loafing, thank you. As I look out at this audience, I see in the faces of you what Richard Florida wrote about a number of years ago in terms of the rise of the creative class. Our ability to attract the best and the brightest in this community is going to depend on what you do on March the 1st. I have a very simple barometer. I go home to a 9-year-old and a 5-year-old every day And I ask the question, am I doing my job as a parent to make this the city that they want to come home to? The fundamental choice that you are going to make on March the 1st is this. Are we moving forward or are we moving backwards? Are we going to settle for what we have always done reflexively? Or are we going to aspire for something that we've never imagined? Are we going to reach higher? Are we going to believe in our capacity to be great? There was a time in this city's history when we were the place in America that everybody talked about. It attracted me here. It was a place where you could make your fortune, where you could raise your family, where cutting-edge jobs were being created. This election will determine whether or not we're going to be that place in America once again. Whether we're going to be that place in America that everybody wants to be, where the economy is growing, where we're moving research from the petri dish to the marketplace, where we're creating that quality of life that so many of you envision. I've knocked on 20,000 doors, and I carry with me on March the 1st the hopes and the dreams of people all over this community. Let me tell you about this election. The choice that you will make will determine what the next 4 years look like, but more importantly, what the next 20 look like. It's time to turn the generational page in this community. It's time for us to take our turn, to fulfill our leadership obligations. This is the time where hope and history meet. This is the time where we make that fundamental decision as to what we're going to be. Other mayors have given us our roots, ladies and gentlemen. You know what our job is? To give us our wings. Let's do it.
Thank you, Bob Buckhorn. And thank you all candidates for being here tonight. Again, early voting starts Saturday, February 19th. Election day is March 1st. Thanks, everybody. Have a good evening.